Alright, what up? JTO coming to you live another week. This is episode
Oh man.
7, 8?
I was just saying that same thing. I've lost a little track of our numbers. We're getting there now.
I mean, we're just starting.
We're getting there, guys.
So yeah, it's been consistent. So yeah, whatever episode this is.
Yeah.
I
think this is 7.
I think so. I think it's 8. We should check. Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's get to the YouTube page. But
We're live.
Absolutely. How you feeling? How you been this week?
Oh, I've been good, man. I've been enjoying not having no rain because this has been a long couple of weeks with this rain. Yeah, no, when we had all that rain, it felt like time slowed down itself. I feel like I lost track as I was going to look.
Oh, yeah. That was a while ago.
That was last week.
Was that last week?
Yeah, that was like last week.
Man, I feel like time's been like flying through.
Episode 7.
All right, episode 7.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Look at that baby. So gracious. So luscious.
oh yeah, there's nothing going on right now.
Go ahead, what were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh.
I was asking how your week was.
Oh, yeah, that rain last week and the week before that, it had slowed time down for me. I was sleeping like a grizzly bear in hibernation. It was getting Black Mirror out here.
I guess.
So I guess Twilight Zone's a little softer. We'll do that.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. Twilight Zone used to be hard though. Twilight Zone's still pretty.
It's up there, but
I mean, it's the blueprint.
yeah, it's the primary, but Black Mirror went in and just wanted to take it up to another level.
Yeah, they just up to scary. And yeah.
And the creepy.
Yeah, they're just implementing like future stuff. Like you could just see. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Well, I'm a fan of what they're doing, but I can watch that. I watched like one episode, and I was like, "Yep, I get it. I see what you're doing. I appreciate it. I can't take any part of this."
Netflix has been getting a lot more on the creepy side. I watched something. It was called like The End of the Fucking World.
Oh.
That's a show they've made. It's like two, I think, middle school kids. They're in London or they're somewhere in the UK, honestly. The boy, he's a psychopath. He starts off, he makes the point. I'm crazy. I'm trying to kill people.
Spoiler.
Oh, this is the trailer.
Oh.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
That's hard. Well, doesn't that kind of make sense going against Disney Plus? Because they're gonna keep it more or less wholesome over there. We gotta give you some shit you can't see.
Yeah, that's solid.
Somewhere between Disney Plus and World Star. Like, you know what I mean?
This is the perfect niche.
Yeah, it's that middle ground between terrorist videos and comic book heroes.
It's a perfect spot right before 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, I mean, yeah, that would kind of make sense.
They did this BDSM TV show. I never watched it.
A what?
A BDSM TV show.
Yeah, it's like I heard what you said. I didn't need the comment. I didn't need it twice, but that was my own fault.
That was a rhetorical what?
That was I did have it first time. Well, why? Well, see, it sounds like all the old stuff HBO used to do, though.
It seems like they're going for that kind
They're
of
just
angle.
they're taking all of HBO's lane. It's T minus Netflix and Dragon this time. Like they're waiting for their giant.
Oh
epic.
well, that's the thing. They're kind of going for it with Henry Cavill in The Witcher.
I don't know what that is, but I know that's not going to be the one. The
more.
title's terrible.
It's based on a book and video game.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to be whatever. It's not a Game of Thrones. Like that title alone.
Disqualified.
I mean, like, but listen to the difference. Like, before I even knew what, how do we always get back to this goddamn show?
Your hate for it somehow brings it back.
But it's not even coming from that place here. It's just that name was just overly impressive. Like, I feel like, I don't know if you ever watched the Founder, the story of McDonald's, but that's kind of like what he came to at the end. He's like, why you do all this for this? Why can? And he's like, no, it's like the name. Like, it was like, yeah, you didn't know it all. It was under your nose the whole time. It's like McDonald's can be anything. Like it's homely here. It's familiar. It was just like a perfect name. Game of Thrones is a perfect name. Where it's just like I don't need to. Before you even tell me what it's about, I'm halfway in. Like unless it's just about, unless I just completely hate everything about what's going on, like you've got my attention. That's just hard. Like so wait, it can only mean what it actually was.
Yeah.
Like Breaking Bad, like that's good alliteration, off top, and then it's like okay, someone's about to go do some wild stuff, and then when you deliver on top of that, it's like, oh, he really is Breaking Bad. Okay, I see. It's like, oh, it's the perfect mix of things. Sopranos is like, I don't know what's about to happen, but I hear that, and I know some gangster shit's about to happen. That's without even knowing anything about Tony Soprano. It's just like, and especially you see the way they do the graphic, like the Soprano and with the gun. Is like in the title.
Those thumbnails they do are crazy.
It was just perfect. You know, there's some iconic titles or names like Nike means victory, and then it's easy, it's quick, it snaps.
I feel like for dramas and very serious shows, at least for TV, I've noticed that they're big titles. I'd say this is for all movies and TV. They like to go up to like 3 words. Something about like having 3 words for the name. Game of Thrones. It could be The Sopranos for the 2.
I don't think it's that rigid, because I think it's a mistake to be that rigid, because then you lose out on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And if you watch that show, The Toys That Made Us, they made Mighty Morphin Power Rangers off of the title Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just to match the syllables. Because they're just like, there's magic in there. You know, it's like a...
But I don't know if I'd give it that same drama though. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it is. It is. That's all it is.
Another franchise, 2 of them. It's the most popular toys of all time, Power Rangers.
Yeah, it was just, I was saying that because of, just thinking about the titles of a lot of the big franchises people watch, it goes up to like 3 words a lot of the time. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, but I think
just a random coincidence.
Backwards. I don't feel like it's solving what it is. Like, it's, because like a good hook, like for a song, right? You can have what was that? Percocet, Molly Percocet, gotta represent. Like it's like 2 words, 4 words, 5 words max, and then you have I don't know. If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for your dog. Got 99 problems, little bitch ain't want like. That's a whole hook, like you know what I'm saying. Like it really doesn't matter.
That was more for titles, though.
But I'm saying I think it's everything. Like I mean, I feel like if you can get a 1-word thing that snaps, that works. But like,
you can make any of them work.
Like the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings, like Harry Potter, and
I was gonna get into that.
All of those things, like you know what I'm saying, like. Those are just long titles and it didn't stop.
But when you talk about it, usually you're like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and that's it. Most of the time, when you say it, like when you're talking about it, yeah, you won't say Fellowship of the Ring unless you get into the details of that. But as a franchise, it's like just Harry Potter, or that's how it works, right?
I guess.
Or do they? I don't know. Do you call it like the Harry Potter series?
I mean, you can call it whatever you want. That's kind of your argument.
Yeah.
That's how you talk about it. But I'm saying like
that's how I imagined it.
yeah. I mean, I don't disagree that there are a lot of things that are small, but I feel like there's a bigger point to be had. I feel like that's not really solving. I feel like it's like a small part of the formula.
Of why they're giving things the title they do?
Of why they're successful. You give it the title because it matches and it works and you were smart enough to think about it. It's not. You gotta think from a creative standpoint, like of why, not why this. Why would you do something? Like why would you name something, or why does things appeal to you? I don't know. I feel like just bringing down by the number of words just. I don't know. It's not really diving into what's actually happening.
I thought of it as a coincidence.
Like, why do colors work? Like, why is red and yellow an eye-catchy combination? Like, it's a deeper thing.
What about The Witcher throws you off as a name?
The Witch That Throws You Off?
No, The Witcher.
The Witcher?
Yeah, that's the name of the show with
Just
Henry
The
Cavill.
Witcher.
Yeah. What about that name throws you off?
What about it throws me off?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because when we first talked about it, you were like, yeah, that's not it. The name's fucked up. And then you referenced Game of Thrones.
Oh,
and that's how this came, yeah.
The Witcher. I don't really fuck with witches.
Okay.
Like, that doesn't excite me. I mean, I could be minority in that. That's whatever. Like, vampires doesn't excite me necessarily, but I don't ignore the fact that that's a whole genre of shit that people love in way different formats. So, I mean, that's like if you get like that's just me personally, like, and it's not universal. So, like, if you have to care about witches, kind of like to fuck with the name alone, like just off of that by itself, like it's, I don't know, it's a subset. That's what I'm saying, like, and that's probably why I brought Game of Thrones, because Game of Thrones means nothing and everything at the same time. Like, that could be Game of Thrones could be Breaking Bad, the show, forget the titles, like just Game of Thrones, the story of Walter White. Game of Thrones, the story of the drug dealers in Baltimore, The Wire. Game of Thrones, the mob families, for Sopranos. All of those shows could have been Game of Thrones, is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't mean anything, but at the same time it invokes everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you're saying about McDonald's. Like, McDonald's doesn't mean anything. It's someone's last name. Is there an old McDonald? Is it a farm? It could be burgers. It could be fries. That's what it's like homely. It feels familiar. You feel like you've known it all along when you've never heard of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's before it was ubiquitous. That's before now you see it everywhere. Golden Arches is an inescapable thing. But like at the base of it, like just, I don't even think it's food, but part of you's interested because you feel like you've already known it. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a magic in that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying with all of that. It doesn't really, like, you know, it doesn't have to be like a snappy thing like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like, that's a whole franchise, a book. You don't know anything about pop culture to like have enough of a face to mean anything. That's a whole thing. There's a movie. It came off a book series.
World's crazy.
Like, and you're not. Is the book the guide to the galaxy, or is it the story of? You know what I'm saying? It invokes questions immediately, and it delivers on a lot, actually. It's a good story.
Okay.
I think about that one often because I think about like a story kind of built off of that story.
Then why does the Sopranos catches you just because you've heard of the Sopranos?
No, because I love gangster shit. I know some Italians about to do some wild shit. That's what Soprano says to me. That's before knowing what it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to his credit, The Wire doesn't invoke anything because I didn't know what The Wire was. If I knew what The Wire was, then that would maybe mean more. But the show itself, you get it immediately. So, you know, there's just perfect things. And Breaking Bad is another one of those titles because, again,
Breaking Bad,
the alliteration. But again, any of those other shows could have been. Breaking Bad could have been the story of Arya Stark. Breaking Bad could have been the story of like any of these great things. You can swap these names around, and they would still be great.
It needs a vagueness.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, I don't know. There's a ineffable, intangible. There's an intangible there. That's what I'm saying. It's too simple to try to box it. It's like trying to describe magic. It's doing a lot, very subtly, that you don't even recognize it's doing because it's so natural. And that's where some of the best things are kind of built off of. And then if you put volume and quality behind that, then you become, there were other search engines. Like, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck is a Google? What is a Google?
None of the search engines made sense.
You're not even hearing what I'm saying. Like the fact that you have this, it evokes that question off top of like, what is this? Like, and it's a thing to find out about things. Like, you see how that's a wild thing. Like, the name invokes a question, and the whole thing is about solving questions. That's like it's lightning in a bottle. You know what I'm saying? And it had competition. It mopped everybody. It's like not even close. Like, I don't even know what the Yahoo does besides like fucking fantasy football. Like, I really don't know. That used to be a real conversation. Jeeves and Ask was a whole thing. Like,
Jeeves
those are
and
people.
Ask?
Ask Jeeves. Like, now it's just ask.com. I don't know what they do now. Probably, I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're not relevant. Bing has a backing of fucking Microsoft. Like, it's the biggest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it doesn't. It's a joke.
Yeah.
That's, part of the, once you get that name, you have to back it up with quality and, you have to sustain. You have to be what you say you are, but like, you got my attention.
It's a hook.
It's a huge hook. And then once you are that thing, that hook kind of makes you bigger. It makes you
Stand out.
not even say it just is. Like, now when you search for things, Google that. It's like, you want a burger? Oh, I want McDonald's. I don't want a burger. I want McDonald's. There's a lot of fast food restaurants. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want, like, that, but that's what, like, that's like like the same thing. Like, it's bigger than the food almost.
Yeah.
I want that. Like, I want that thing. I don't want shoes, I want Nikes, I want Jordans. Like, you know how many shoe brands there are? There's so many shoes. Like, all of them made by the same sweatshop in China. Like, I want that. I want the Jordan. I don't want a laptop. I want an Apple. I don't want a phone. I want an iPhone. I don't want to. It becomes bigger. You know what I'm saying? It becomes bigger than the thing when you have that combination. Yeah, I don't want to watch TV. I want to watch Game of Thrones. What? I'm turning this on for this. I'm not just out here. I want. This is what I came for. I came for Breaking Bad. I want whatever's behind that title is what I'm for. You know what I'm saying? It's and that thing is awesome. Yeah, I'm here. You got me.
Breaking Bad was an exceptionally good one. That one.
But everything in this tier are exceptional. Like really think about everything I named. They're just ubiquitous. No, I mean, have you seen Sopranos?
Nah, but it doesn't even raise the question of watching it. The Sopranos. Okay.
How much Goodfellas?
Hmm?
Have you seen Goodfellas?
I have it, yeah.
You watched it?
No.
Right. Godfather.
I've watched
3?
it. No.
Okay. Casino. Yeah, I mean, you like gangster boot? Like, is this a genre that interests you?
I like gangster flicks.
Martin Scorsese's it just invokes if you like that. I mean, that's kind of less. That was just a really good show.
Yeah.
But like
that title's
but
not.
that whole genre, it works
Okay.
because that was a whole genre up into that and then afterwards as well. Like it's already established thing. Like Al Pacino and what's the old guy's name? Fucking the other guy in The Irishman. Al Pacino and really?
De Niro.
Yes, Robert De Niro. Like they built whole careers off of this genre and throwing in like a comedy on top of those, just so you weren't scared of them in the streets. Like seriously, like it's a real enough thing. You get Casino and then you get Meet the Parents.
I'm not as into it as I think I am.
Well, but if you were,
Yeah.
that's all you would need to be like, I'm in on this. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a huge subset of people. It's just not as, yeah. Grant, I agree. It's not as it's not like a Game of Thrones. Those are different categories.
Yeah.
But that category was so big for that one where it was perfect for it. Like you couldn't. It's hard to get a better title for a gangster thing. It's sustained.
I feel
But like, yeah, it's not the all.
that's The Witcher.
Yeah, if you're into witches, you're gonna check
if
that.
you're into fantasy.
No, it's not all fantasy.
Because if
What kind of
if
fantasy?
you're
That's a subset of fantasy.
any form of fantasy game, if you're into
No.
that, you've heard of it.
Tell me right now, like that's not the case. Like I'm telling you face to face. You're telling me this for the first time. It's never come across.
Well, do
any...
you play fantasy games?
No.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But you said gamer. You said
No, I
you
said
all
fantasy.
fantasy.
Yeah, if you're into fantasy games,
You
that's
didn't
what I
say
said.
game. You didn't say game.
I did not say games.
Where is on tape.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
that is a good thing.
You said fantasy. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
I thought I just said fantasy games. That's
No.
if I didn't.
You
That's
excluded games. But all right. Well, okay, sure. If that's a
because
fine,
if
fine.
you played Final Fantasy, you played any World of Warcraft, you've done anything like that, you've heard of The Witcher. It's
What was the first thing you named for World of Warcraft?
Final Fantasy. If you're on Final Fantasy like that, you've probably heard.
They have a new Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Whoa.
They had like 15, I think 16 Final Fantasies.
But they were on like 15 or 16. On like what?
They were like on 10 in like 2011, I think.
That's not
By
true.
numbers.
That's not true.
By like numbers.
No.
Here.
It's way before that. I remember.
Something like
I remember
that.
when Final Fantasy X came out. That was like PlayStation 2.
Okay.
So that was.
But it is like Final Fantasy 15.
Oh.
That's like where we're at.
3.
Or let's see.
I'm kind of coming way off top. Like this is reaching from nothing. But I remember that game coming out.
Okay, yeah. Here's
And I
Final
was
Fantasy
a
10.
child.
That was 2001.
Yeah. Yeah. Been a
So.
kid.
Yeah.
So don't tell me. Like, I was OG in this shit. That's
I was-
another thing. I hate that like I drop off of these things and they have changed enough. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and just be told about Final Fantasy when I remember Cloud with the sword. I remember when they made the Kingdom Hearts jump and that was an RPG and it was like, oh shit, they're breaking the form. I was there. I was yeah.
No,
I didn't see
no,
the
my
video
dates were bad. I just knew that we were at like 15, 16. And so this is like 16 we're at now, or they're asking will there even be one?
Yeah, and I was just about to say that. I also remember when a new Final Fantasy was never a guarantee. It was more like a 3-year rumor. I remember them talking about if Final Fantasy X was going to be made, and people were like,
that's not my section of fantasy. That's just...
you brought up Final Fantasy. That's why I was just not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I know nothing about Final Fantasy and let it just... Yeah, I'm not being sunned over something I grew up on. I guess it's more of the story.
Okay, I mean, I was more just trying to make the point of...
And the fact that I know that The Witcher has never come across my radar. But I dropped off around...
well, were you playing them like that?
Yeah, I was down, for sure. It just, yeah.
Yeah, because I was more playing like WoW.
That was that.
Like that.
Him and Cloud and Dante, Devil Might Cry. These are big figures for me. Because they just, mostly the sword, also the defense thing. So if you had a sword, you're already winning. And they had giant swords, and Dante came with the 2 guns. I don't think this is everything.
Yeah, like The Witcher came in 2007.
Oh, yeah. See,
that's
kind
of what I'm getting at.
I'm in these streets at this point.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like it came out 2007, came out with like 2 more games, and that I know of.
All right,
and
that's perfect timing for that, because that's me in like this very beginning of college. So Guitar Hero was like the last game we played, and that's because it was like communal. But that was...
Yeah, and I don't even think, and I'm not even saying at this point, people that were into fantasy were into The Witcher.
No.
By 3.
But I'm saying at least this timeline makes sense for me. Because this is perfect for me to be like, no, this was the switch off of that.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like another year and a half, and one of my old roommates will have stolen all of my DVDs and video games. Because I beat him in a game of poker. Yeah. Sasha. Good it's real life.
Yo, card.
So that was the official game. That was like the hard, and I'm like, I'm not. That's that.
Gambling has a weird way of making motherfuckers irrationally angry.
No,
I go into it knowing the stakes.
I knew that shit was gonna happen. I mean, I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Yeah,
I obviously didn't know that shit. But like, we all play like online poker or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I didn't talk. This is like one of the only times I had like a roommate who was like super random. Like, I just needed a place around campus, and so I didn't know him at all. So we just wouldn't really talk to each other. Not like we just wouldn't be there at the same times, and really didn't. And so like I'd walk by his room sometimes. I had to go to his, and he'd have like the poker table up, and I was like, oh, never gonna bring that up. I don't want that dynamic. But one day I'm in my room playing, and he sees it, so he brings it up. He's like, "Oh, saw you playing poker." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, play sometimes, whatever." Whatever. He's like, "Yeah, we should play cash." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know about all that." And he's like, "Yeah, let's play some heads up." I was like, "All right, well, you want to play some heads up?" You want to set a 51 table, so we sat down for like $100. I think we did 1, 2, or 51. So we're sitting down for 100, 200 each, and yeah, in like 10 minutes, I got like I stacked them 3 times, so I either had like 300 or 600. Like it was fast, like 5-10 minutes. And so he's like, "All right, well, I'm done." It was like, "I'm good." And he like kind of like slams the door. That was the last time I really talked to him, and whatever. I don't even know how to tell the story. Doesn't matter.
Lord have mercy.
But that was the hard end to my gaming career when I had no more games.
That'd probably be my end too, because since like maybe the beginning of high school, I had stopped going out of my way to get games. But I still love the ones I had, or like if I go talk to somebody else I was playing, oh yeah, let's jump on. Even today, like, oh, you playing something? Sure, I'll beat you up real quick. But I don't have that interest to pursue it. So like if I lost what I had already.
Yeah, and I wasn't like, I didn't even notice for like a while. Like they were all gone. I didn't notice for like weeks, and I was like moving out, like doing stuff. I was like, wait a minute. There's a whole fucking row of stuff missing. But yeah, so that tells you how much I was off of it already.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, that changes everything.
Yeah, that's whatever. So, The Witcher's a thing, and people love it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's I don't think everybody loves it, but I think everybody's heard of it. Mm-hmm. Like they know what's up with it.
Halo is perfect, man.
Halo is ubiquitous.
Angels, demons, space, and then it's like, oh, it's the planet.
Once Commander-in-Chief took the name, it was like, oh, you guys can just do anything.
Yeah, and all that. There was reason for their vagueness, but at the same time, it could have been like backwards. Because Halo and Master Chief can be anything. Like Master Chief, you never saw who he was. You were just Master Chief, and he could do everything. But you know what I'm saying? That's the most generic name, especially for your hero, and it was perfect.
He was like the sci-fi James Bond.
It's more. He's really like a stormtrooper. Like
that never loses.
But like the one. You know what I'm saying? He's like Neo meets the stormtrooper. Neo as a stormtrooper. Or maybe that's I'm going with that.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some deeper Star Wars metaphor that fits perfectly, but I don't care about that necessarily. But I'm going with the Stormtrooper meets Neo for the win, and that's Halo, and then some, religious tones underneath. But that's the Neo part. Yeah.
You know, I played a lot of Halo, but I never really understood the storyline. Like, I beat the storyline, I was getting skulls. Maybe it's just bad memory, but that whole story.
Alright, so I don't remember the names of the things. There's a flood, there's humans, and then there was the guys.
The aliens.
They
had super huge foreheads, that's all I know.
Yeah, there's the Ops. Call them the Ops.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Ops created Halo. Or there's a couple of them. They created the Halos as a weapon to destroy the Floods, which were like the zombie-ass aliens that were just fucking shit up.
Yeah, those were vicious.
And the humans kind of came across this shit not knowing and started fighting with the Ops. And the Ops were just like, nah, but we got this. There's these other guys. Let's use this off for. And there's this big miscommunication, I think. It's been a long time, but like, I feel like that was more or less it. Was like, they built that to kill the Flood. Humans came across it. They didn't know what the fuck it was, and we're not very diplomatic, and neither were they. And then we started fighting, and I don't know if they really all knew the reasons why exactly. And I don't know how much more clarity came in 2 or 3, but at that point,
I know like in 3.
I can't say the story of 3 at all. Not even in 2.
Dude, I can't say the story of any of them. I just know that by 3, when you're playing, like you're cooperating a little bit with the leader of the aliens,
Well,
like the Arbiter or
they
something?
pieced up somewhere in 2, or around the end of 2 maybe.
Okay.
Because that's when you could. I kind of only. That might be true. Because in 2 you could pick up the sword, and I feel like that was. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But at some point they pieced it up though, because at one point you're playing as both.
Yeah.
I think that was 3.
Yeah, that was
play-
definitely 3.
Yeah.
If you play 2-player, you one of you can be the alien leader.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they might have pieced it up at the end of 2, and that's why it goes 3, or they somewhere around in 3. But yeah, they were good. That was the intro of the online gaming. It was the shit. And that's why that was the shit.
Double kill.
It's everything now. But yeah, just that those beginning times.
Have you played any of the newer online games? Like Fortnite?
I haven't
and all
played
that?
it. No.
Okay.
None. No.
Yeah, I feel like an old head when I say it or even think it, but I don't even feel like they're as fun. I played.
Yeah, I'm sure they're tight. I don't know.
They're tight. They're tight. They look great. They look amazing, but I don't know. Or maybe it's more me than the game itself. So I'm just not really enjoying it because I'm not in the right mind state, or I'm.
Yeah, I don't know, because isn't Fortnite's just a combination of Minecraft and first-person shooter, right? So you're building shit while
Or
killing
third
people.
person. It's third person.
Oh yeah, I guess So,
But it's
right.
same shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same shit.
If you like Minecraft, then adding a shooter to it is genius. And I just didn't understand that people like Minecraft, honestly.
Minecraft is addictive.
I guess. I don't know. But I just never tried it.
I've played it. I've never got addicted myself, but I've seen the addiction.
And then it's just
Play out.
building stuff, right?
Yeah, people have a lot of fun doing it though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the creativity, I guess, and mix that with. I think there's some kind of story mode. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you at all.
I
We sound like we're 40 or 50.
Yo.
80, I don't even know. We sound crazy right now. It's like the biggest game in the world. Yeah, well, I think the kids, it's like this the Minesweeper. We sound the same. but I have no
want my
idea.
beard to be 3 times longer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We should talk about something else that we at least know about a little bit, because we sound crazy not knowing about this at all.
We talked about Brooklyn Nine-Nine a little bit, that with the comedy, they've balanced out being goofy with keeping it classy. And I was wondering, were there other shows you think did it as well? Because I feel like it's hard to match that. It was a weird one.
Well, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is kind of like off a branch of other shows in that format. Parks and Rec is that perfectly, but Brooklyn Nine-Nine is made by I think some of the same people that did Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Or there's a connection there. I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's off of that tree. And then there's something else like Parks and Rec. Oh well, The Office. Yeah, something a little bit. Parks and Rec will be my first go-to though. I think. The Office is not really respectable. They're not good at what they do. They kind of, it all functions despite that. The Parks and Rec, they're good at what they do, unless they don't. Unless they're not, but that's there's reasons for it. It's never not. They're never really. They're dumb. Not they're dumb. There's only they have the dumb character, because you kind of need your dumb character, just because he's a wild cards you can kind of play with. But he got smarter as the show went on and was given more responsibility. Andy from Jurassic World and Guardians of the Galaxy. Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Came from Parks and Rec. With like Aziz Ansari and
Why can't I remember this man's name?
great people, Amy Poehler, all that. Well,
For some reason, I want to call him Patterson off of Twilight,
that means nothing.
but the vampire on Twilight.
Zero.
You ain't seen Twilight?
Hell no, I haven't seen Twilight. Don't disrespect me. Questions like this. Have you seen Twilight? I'm a grown man. Why the fuck would I have seen Twilight?
You know about Twilight.
I know it's a thing with vampires and there's two teams. But I don't know. I don't
know about Team Edward. You ain't never heard about Team Edward.
I told you I knew there were two teams. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. Like I can't explain that enough. Like
I feel like a teen girl right now.
yeah, you sound like a teen girl bringing up Twilight with your chest like this. Like what the fuck's wrong with you? What's your point?
I've lost my point in the sauce.
It's fucked up.
Oh, I was trying to say that Star-Lord off of Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't remember his actual name. But I feel like it's like Chris, something with a P.
Chris Pratt.
Okay, Pratt. Yeah, I kept imagining the name Patterson. It kept popping up. And that's the dude off of Twilight.
I see. That's what we're doing. Okay.
And he's also going to be Batman. Just putting that out there.
DC, I remember what I said last week. If you were here for the end of the last week's episode, I made a plea to, not even a plea, I just made myself available to DC for any consultation in reviving your brand and your franchise. That offer has been revoked. It was actually revoked last week. When we finished filming, I went to my phone and saw that they dropped a new Wonder Woman trailer. And I was just devastated, really, just top to bottom. Really for one point, it looked great. Like visually, it looked good. Like whatever, for whatever that stands for, I'm giving you some grace. But I just want to know why the movie was 1986. Is that the name of it? 1980.
1980. Is it not?
I don't remember. Why is the movie in the 1980s? This is a flashback. There's no answer that makes me happy. That's what I came to. So I have no faith in what you guys are doing going forward, and I wish you the best of luck, but you're not gonna do anything with it, so it doesn't matter. I just hearing this thing about Batman. The nail was already in the coffin. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad you brought that up so I can bring this up because I wanted to really bad. Because that was. I don't get it. I don't understand why you would make a movie. Like we've seen her back in what was that, World War One, II, at muskets and shit. Yeah. Not even two. World War One, and then we've seen her in the present time in the Justice League shit, and now we're going back to 1980 whatever for what? That's insane. That's the worst. That's the worst decision I've really. I hate it.
Yeah, no, the passion for the hate turned an okay trailer into greatness. It turned it into greatness.
Yeah, there was a lot more energy behind all of this last week after we saw it. I'm glad that wasn't filmed, just because it was foaming at the goddamn mouth. I was angry. I was really
it messed up the whole spot for you.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It never even came back.
I keep forgetting about that shit. It's like a permanent, there's a block on that too, just by being in the orbit. Yeah, that was bad.
That was a lot.
It was bad. It was bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
It's nice.
I want to see something else.
It was crazy because the trailer looked great. It really visually was stunning. They've been doing that for all the movies though.
Yeah, it just doesn't mean
Or
anything
all the
because
superhero movies.
that's just what you have to be.
Yeah.
So whatever.
But you know, and shout out Gal Gadot, you're the best. But I don't. The people you working with making this story, I don't know what they're doing.
Who? Who'd you shout out?
Gal Gadot.
Gal
Wonder,
Gadot.
yeah, isn't that's Wonder Woman name, right?
I don't know any. I don't know.
You don't make me insecure on tape, man.
I know. I wasn't questioning. When you said that, I wasn't questioning as to who it was. I just didn't know who it was. I was asking who it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Gal.
Yeah, I've got my beautiful
I see. I see what you're
Israeli
going for.
woman. Got it right. Yeah.
Yeah, she read that shit though. I'm not. She can get these shots too. I'm fuck.
Yeah,
she's.
Hey, no, shout out to you though.
They're really okay.
I know you just doing your job. They keep putting you in this situation.
You can talk up. Women are equal now, right? Is that what we're doing?
Man.
Yeah, dude. I'm.
Oh man.
I got all the smoke for this shit, dude. That shit pissed me off. Like, 'cause this was their only shining light over there. Like, they had a victory, and they got it through women's equality and having a champion representation and all that. Like, you know, and it was a good movie, but it wasn't great. It was just propelled through all this blah, 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 blah. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Like, it made me so angry. Like, it's just, they're not going to get the second time around. I hope it does. I hope it's not as bad as how I feel about what it feels like it's gonna be. Because at this point, even if it's like a decent story, it can't come off good because the whole thing doesn't make sense to me off the top. Like, it's just bad timeline, and if the whole thing's a story, like it starts in present time, she tells a story about, and the whole movie's a story about that time, that's even more disrespectful than anything else. So I'm not excited about it. I'm pretty appalled that it's happening the way it's happening.
Yeah. I don't know how they.
And it's wild because I didn't feel this much at all about the franchise to begin with. Like, when it first came out, I was like, this is cool. I'm glad it's having this moment. And I'm glad DC is going to win. All that, but there was no real. It didn't evoke feelings. It didn't make me feel it. I didn't care. Like, this trailer just really just upset me. It just upset me.
I feel like
I just wanted to make sense.
there was the movie The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I didn't see it because it was like in French, right?
Wait, what? Nah, dude, that was in like theaters.
Yeah.
Like they had parts, but I think that was like subtitles.
Yeah.
I only saw her action sequences. But
So, you know, God damn it.
no, but I was saying these are they've got some victories under their belt already, and
Who? Oh, sorry.
women actors
Oh.
as leads. They've got victories lined up.
Okay.
But I feel like they're still going for that female lead victory. But
No,
it's like
it's the same thing with no.
the same thing with what?
It's not women. I mean, women leads, sure, but like this wasn't the first. Let me be clear, because this is not the first women lead that's been affected. The representation came in comic book genre alone. That's why Black Panther was what it was. Like, we've had black lead, like Denzel Washington's been killing shit, but like we weren't in this thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, but I feel like it's become a crutch. Or not? No, I'm not gonna say it's become a crutch. That's way too far. But I feel like it's
Trying to
it's
figure out
starting to
the
get
whole-
dependent on.
Okay, what is being dependent on? Exactly.
Like I don't know, like the happiness of the female representation, I guess, for a victory in the movie. I feel like it's been messing with the like it's been messing with it's been messing with the quality of the movies.
I make it clear Jerry does not go with his opinion per se.
I'm not even 100% with this myself. I mean,
yeah, I would stand back on the ledge. You know.
But for these superhero movies, I'd say that. I mean, I gotta wait till Black Widow, because man, she's gonna probably make a fucking hit.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
And see, that's one back in time, and you could argue I should have the same problem with that, but I don't have the problem because she's dead in the real time of the story. So for her to go back on it, and if there's something that could be, I don't know how it's gonna tie. And they've said that it's gonna tie in with things going forward. I don't know how, but I at least trust them to do that to make it, because otherwise I would have the same problem.
I didn't know they was going back in time for this.
She's dead.
Other dude's supposed to be dead. Iron Man's supposed to be dead too, but they're talking like he's not. So I mean,
What are you talking about?
yeah, I read something online.
Did you see Spider-Man? Like,
No, dude, like it
starts with a whole tribute to Tony Stark. He's very dead. Like that's the whole thing. I think they talked about him coming in like one of the What If series that's gonna be in Marvel. Maybe for like a short thing, but that probably wouldn't be like going forward. It'd be like no, come on. I need to make like a movie playlist. I need you to see all of these things, especially if you're gonna refute or like make like whole bold claims off of them.
Oh, never mind. Nah, that's
I know. You're just wrong. So, yeah, I need to make I was thinking about this today. Because I sent that a text. What were we talking about last night? We were texting, and I said we need Team America for this.
Yeah.
He responded. I'm like, I knew when I typed it, you had no idea what Team America was.
for sure.
And I'm like, he's just gonna think America. And then he texts back, and I was like,
Of course.
but like, ridiculous.
Despair.
Because like, I don't understand, because I speak in terms of pop culture. Like everything I say is like a reference to something, and you don't know. The percentile just keeps ticking upwards. Like we're already in the 90s. But I don't like your whole pop culture is devastatingly. I don't understand how you watch what you watch, because they're referencing stuff and you don't know that it's happening. So you're not even getting the full.
A lot of the stuff.
Like even like Brooklyn Nine-Nine is full of references to just stuff, and like you don't even. So what do you?
A lot of the stuff I don't end up getting. I have to either Google or it goes right over my head. And
yeah, because you wouldn't know that you're not getting a lot of things.
Yeah. Because for example, like the Die Hard stuff, I got that most of that was good, and that's because he usually does the last Die Hard.
What?
Die Hard 3? Isn't that the last Die Hard?
There's like 6 Die Hards for one. They make that joke too. It's like, dude, when they get stuck in the room and they're doing the stakeout the whole time, they're making a list of shit, and he's just like, yeah, and he's like, I can't talk about Die Hard. And he's like, then he makes a reference, and he's like, that was Die Hard 3. He's like, or it's Die Hard 4. He's like, there's another Die Hard. He's like, don't get mad at me for not knowing all the Die Hards. Like, yeah, there's like 6.
I'm Charles Boyer?
Yeah, dude, this is bad. This is really bad. That's the third Die Hard. The third Die Hard came out like when we were like 9. No. They've been on 6, 7. You die another day.
Where is my life going?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You need a real, because this is a problem. And you never. I kind of feel this way, truly. You're never going to really reach your full potential. Like, not knowing some of these things. Because the hole's too big. Like, because these are like a whole. I don't even understand how you watch Rick and Morty. Like everything is a reference.
Well,
to
no,
everything.
for Rick and Morty, I miss a lot of.
But that's the whole style of comedy now. Everything references something. Like,
yeah,
it's a whole thing.
most of the stuff in Rick and Morty, if it's like most of the more recent stuff for Rick and Morty, not recent in terms of their episodes, recent in terms of the content they're referencing. I get for that.
Yeah, but I think you don't know what you're missing though.
Not at all.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But this goes for like, it's really everything. It's so much stuff. Like I can't think of anything that doesn't do it. Like BoJack Horseman is
No, BoJack Horseman's too much.
the whole thing is illusion. Back to like
Yeah, no,
it's illusion.
that's part of what,
metaphors.
that's
like
part
for
of
other things.
that's part of what makes it like I still haven't caught up because it's like so much of it passes me that actually that's exactly it. So much of it passes me that I don't get the enjoyment.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
It stops me from even.
That's what I'm saying. But like you.
But for Rick and Morty, I guess it'd be between they jam pack it full of enough of them that I do get, or maybe they also.
It is like I'm saying. All right, it's layers. It's the whole double entendre thing. Like you can have like a joke, but the joke has a layer, so it can be funny, but then you have someone else that's laughing harder. And you're just like, well, what is that? And it's like because there's two levels of laughter.
Yeah.
So you're missing a whole level of laugh. Like you can still enjoy these comedies that do these things because the joke that it's built on should be funny. But there's a whole layer of why that's funnier.
I feel you.
Or why that was perfect for these things. Like, it's too hard to, there's too many examples to really come up with any one, really. But like, it's that second level of the comedy where you're missing because it was based on something else. So it's not dependent on it, but like, you're just missing out.
Okay, yeah, no.
And
Dude, if you're willing to make the list, I'll watch the movies. I'm not against it. Most of them probably never caught my attention or I never just saw them, so.
there's so many at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you have to lock yourself away for like a month. Because there's so many movies. And they're like, you got some long ones you gotta get through. They're not even all good movies. You need to see there's some wild shit you just need to see. Just because like things are based on, like, Mulholland Drive is some bullshit. I don't know if anyone should see it. No. I think you should if you, or like Clockwork Orange is like wild.
Which
And like it's a cool movie, but like there's so much stuff Joker, not Joaquin Phoenix, but Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's Joker was based on the character of the Clockwork Orange. So like there's an appreciation that comes from that kind of stuff. Like art begets art. So like when you if you try to go to create something, you're starting from you're trying to create the will in more cases than you would need to. Where you can just pull from, like most things are just like Romeo and Juliet remixed.
Yeah.
These are some of your best like love stories in history because you don't have to recreate the will. Like you figured out certain tropes here, you can mix and match those things. How you get like No Country for Old Men, where it's like the combination between noir movies and Western movies. So it's constantly playing on those two genres within it. So you birthed this whole other thing, but you couldn't have made it without knowing those two genres. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'll watch a list of them. I mean,
yeah, it was just
if there any, and I mean, if possible, like the most pop culture dense of them for sure. But I don't know which of those.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not really.
It's all over.
It's not. They are pop culture. Like, they're not really. I don't know.
Because I know like Inception had for a time a humongous spot in pop culture.
Impact. That's still YouTube.
Oh,
Maybe.
Impact.
But like even like The Breakfast Club, no Charlemagne, like the original Breakfast Club, where it's a
movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where it's like 5 or 6 kids, all different cliques come together in like this detention and little adventure. You know, they find out that they have more in common than they have alike, and whatever. So much is based off of just that trope or just that scenario.
Very different people get together.
You know, but it's not like my favorite movie. It's just one of those. It's a building block. I mean, and it's a good movie. You know, these are all. There's a reason why other people take from it and why people built off of these things. They're good, but they're not like, you know, they're not all epics. You can watch all 6 Die Hards; those are great. Like, Peralta's not wrong.
Okay.
Die Hard. I can watch all the Die Hards right now. Yeah, and they're.
Fuck?
Dude, he's in the wrong place. The shit's great. Fucking. There's so many things. All the Quentin Tarantino films I feel like are must-sees.
This is like
Just to be a better human person going forward.
This is like a Charles Boyle therapy.
Yeah, I've been meaning to bring this up for a long time. Because it's a big problem for me personally, just because this is how I talk. Like, all I do is reference it, and I know, and it breaks my heart deeply. Because no one here gets this shit. And, like, I'm just like, I can't even talk, because people don't know.
You know.
Or, like, because it makes the painting the picture. Every time I have to try to explain, like, a thing, I have to start from blank canvas. And I'm like, but someone's already did this. Like, how, like, Chappelle has, like, a joke for almost everything. If you watch all of his stand-ups and the 2 seasons of Chappelle Show and they did, like, 2 or 3 episodes for the 3rd season, if you watch all of those things, you will find, and perhaps mix in some interviews, but that content alone, any topic you want to bring up, yeah, he's covered everything. Like, you were like, everything. Financial responsibility, going back and forth, being comfortable in the hood, not coming from the hood. O.J. Simpson, like fucking trans, gay, discrimination, black, white, being rich, being poor, smoking weed. Drinking and driving. Fucking like it's. I mean, everything has been taken apart. And that's why I feel that like Seinfeld has done. There was one argument I was thinking about the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, Seinfeld handled this. It was a whole episode. It was a side plot. I was like, oh yeah. You just don't have to start over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you'll have thoughts or you're just trying to figure something out or whatever. Just like.
Like that one thing.
What?
Oh, I just said that as an example.
But yeah, but like it'll be that one thing, but you're just trying to like figure it out or trying to really figure it out from nothing. But it's like you have this Rolodex of things, and they've dealt with this in some way. And whether that's right or wrong, you have something to go off of, or at least a place to start a vision from. You know what I mean?
I need to see those Lethal Weapons too.
Lethal Weapons, yeah, like Always Sunny. There's like they made like a Lethal Weapon parody in their show.
I need to see that too.
If you didn't see Lethal Weapon, you like it doesn't really mean as much to you, and it makes it so much funny. It's still funny if you hadn't, but like you've seen it, you're dying because you're just like, oh my god.
How often do you meet people that are pop culturally
Illiterate?
Yeah.
I don't know, but not for reoccurring people in my life. I would say random people. I don't know. It's hard to really, but almost the opposite. Like my old roommates and stuff. No, like the opposite. Like they were overloaded. Like Thomas. Like we can go back and forth like this all day. Like because like he knows what I'm talking about. I know what he's talking about. Whatever. Yeah, it's no, you know, no, because we're all, especially we're all like a lot of my friends are mostly like the same age. So these are things that like they weren't. You have to really go discover them. They were unavoidable. Like if you're my age and a boy and had a television, you know what a Power Ranger is. There's no, you know what Dragon Ball Z is. Like you couldn't avoid it. If you went to public school, and there were just kids. Wrestling was unavoidable. Like it was just there. It was like the biggest thing on the planet if you were a certain age at a certain time.
Yeah.
These are just things like Home Alone. It wasn't even like a, you know. Did you see? No, it's like I know you've seen it because we've all seen it. Like it's those kind of things. Like you know what?
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, you know, it's just these are just moments like, and especially if the people are like you're like-minded in that, then it's more so that we've seen it. But some of these things are big enough where you didn't have to like the thing to know what it was, at least have a baseline. If you liked it, you knew everything about it. So, but these are the things, just because of that time period, I don't know, just because of where we are now, a lot of things now are built off of those things and then things even further back. Yeah, it's all rarely, like Rick and Morty, the whole show, like,
I think that one's like Back to the
it's all about Back to the Future. The characters itself are based on Back to the Future, and then Super Spice. But that's one point. He didn't start from zero.
Yeah.
You didn't have to figure out why would a boy in science like. No, that was kind of already built in. How can we make this funny, or how can we make this, this whole other thing? So I'm saying, like, you can do that for like anything. Like,
Family Guy and The Simpsons, I guess.
Family Guy is like not based off Simpsons, but that it wouldn't exist. Family Guy wouldn't exist if Simpsons didn't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that also came from King of the Hill as well. I think more directly King of the Hill, not style wise, but
The setup.
just the people. Like Seth MacFarlane knew. I'm blanking on the guy's name, but he's legendary. Guy that did King of the Hill, like they knew each other, and King of the Hill has already existed, and he also did like fucking oh my god, Beavis and Butthead. And that was already like a whole hit as well. Mike Hill, I think is his name. I could be wrong, but it's not Mike Hill. But yeah, so you knew that connection, so he put him in position to get the pilot that he sat there in his living room and drew the whole first episode. The whole first episode was made by Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, so everything's built off everything, but if you don't know what your foundation, you're wasting your time building a foundation. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like certain things are a must.
I feel it. Yeah.
You know, that, because you combine that with like the ability to create something in whatever format that is, whether it's landscaping to architecture to drawing to singing to movies to TV, whatever. If you're creating something, you should know kind of the history of that thing.
Yeah.
But then if you have other things to pull from, it makes your thing richer. Yeah. It's like a hip hop producer now. Like if you want to be a hip hop producer, right?
Okay.
But you've never and something, but you're trying to figure out what an 808 is or what that is. You're trying to figure like, why are you trying to recreate the 808? We're on like the 10th iteration, bro. Like you're trying to figure out what that is. No. Go back and listen to the fucking evolution of the drum. Like we've come from boom bap to you're gonna feel this shit in your chest tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's a different balance to it, but like you don't, you have to know it. Like otherwise, you're gonna find yourself recreating shit that they made in the '80s. And that's how you're gonna sound. It's like that's you're trying to recreate from zero.
Yeah.
It's that kind of that's what I feel that way about. It's everything. If you're gonna do something, you should know
The history of it.
a little bit, or at least what came before, what was tight, what worked. Like, you know, yeah, to some degree, or to varying degrees, and just knowing it in general, or having a good general base, just allows more free-form thought. You can just combine different things, like the. It's not. I mean, I guess it's pop culture, but like you're asking about like the yesterday how I came up with the. I make some like designs like hoodies, shirts, whatever. And I came up with another design for a hoodie, and he was just asking how I came up with the design, and like when he said that, I was just like, huh. I was like, how'd that come up with? Because the places came up so random, and they weren't like fresh either. Like one was fresh. I was watching this YouTube show that I can't remember the name of it, but it's hilarious. Jay and Rick. Nope. It's two names, but they're funny. They just go around doing random shit. But they decided to do this fashion show thing and make like a terrible design, but try to make him a real model, right? They make this design. They do this thing with like some tape, and they make it like socks out of tape. But like on the low, it looked kind of hard. Like you're looking at him like it's hard. And you know the suit's ridiculous, but they get out on the New York streets and they have paparazzi that they're like chasing them, like oh shit. So the other paparazzi get into them, and people fuck with it to the point where like by the next fashion week, the next year, they did it again. Other companies, fashion companies, took his look and made different pieces out of it. Like unbeknownst to him, like it was like the thing, like the socks, that became like it was like fragile. So it said fragile on it, and it was just like repeating, almost like a Supreme thing. They made fashion. There was a whole fashion line of like fragile in different ways, and then he had this thing where it looked like he had like airbags on him. Then they had like they showed the real coats that people made, and that they were, you know what I'm saying? So I saw that, and I was like, that's funny. But the thing stuck with me. And then the Jay-Z tweet, like a couple years ago, Jay-Z got an award, and he goes on a Twitter rant about all the different rappers. He's like, yeah, dude, I'm so proud of us, or hip hop and whatever, we're beautiful. And he starts to listen to people, and he keeps listening to people, and this goes on for like 10 tweets, where he's just listening to rappers, and it's just like, oh man, there's so many of us, it's beautiful, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And that plus, I was looking for something new in that design from what we had talked about, however many weeks ago. So it was, you know, that was already in the back of my mind, and then I saw that thing, and then that kind of popped up. It was just, you know, I had those things to connect to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Jay-Z 2 wasn't in my mind. It was in my mind, but it wasn't on my mind. That shook it for no reason.
Just enough.
Just enough to combine it. And I'm just kind of doing in that style. You know, I'm not recreating anything. Like it's you know, making it something new. It's a fusion. You have to have things infused. And your pop culture whole going on things infused. Yeah. Because if you're trying to solve some mysteries, I'm just like, no, man, that's a solved mystery.
This one's so deep.
But yeah,
I don't know how no one's ever thought about it.
Yeah, it's like there's a whole franchise based off that shit.
9 movies.
Yeah, I mean, you'd just be
9 more
surprised.
seasons, Morty.
I thought about I was googling something. I wish I could remember it. I even in the moment thought about writing it down to talk about it because you always think that like you have an original idea or that you're going about something like originally. And I didn't, oh my God, I can't remember what I was Googling, but like I didn't know what it was, but I had like a back reference for it, and I got it. It was Rube Goldberg machines, right? I was Domino Effect. Sorry, you know, Mousetrap.
Yeah.
Mousetrap. You know Mousetrap? No, not Mousetrap, but
I know.
the board game.
No.
Right. Okay. So there was a board game called Mousetrap, and it was basically like a game where you make all this elaborate shit to catch a mouse, and at one point you set this in motion, and this ball would hit this plank, and this plank would fall, and it would hit this spark, and the spark would. That is called a Rube Goldberg machine.
Okay.
You understand what I'm describing? Or you seen those kind of things?
No.
No.
Well,
We'll
no.
look at some after this, or just one. You get it. But no, I couldn't remember the name of the Goldberg machine. I remember Mousetrap, so I was like, Mousetrap. Google Mousetrap, just try to get it, see if it came up search. It was like, then I ended up, Mousetrap is a form of, and it finishes for me, or it finished that much, and I was like, so wait, a lot of other people have gone through this exact thing. Like, not only they typed in Mousetrap, and they're like, no, Mousetrap is they type, like they went through all these steps, and I was just like, man, whatever. It's funny.
Google's fun with that. Searching itself becomes an activity when you see what other people are searching. And it's exciting to see like how fast it pops up or doesn't. Because sometimes you search something and you think when you're getting into it, you're about to see a bunch of articles and they don't talk about anything like that. And you're just like, oh, so we're not even thinking about this.
Yeah, it comes up, but yeah, you get it both ways. We're just like, that one was just like, because I just like the mentality, because it was a roundabout, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't.
Straightforward.
But like, there's a whole generation of people that can take that roundabout way to get to that. Because my age, like, or whatever, Mousetrap was a whole thing, because it's just like, what? I never played Mousetrap, but the commercial was everywhere, and it was a one of a kind thing. Like, it was just
I feel that.
So it was just, I don't know. I thought that tickled me. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah. I think feeling good about that.
Yeah, me too. I kind of want to watch Die Hard.
That's not a bad thing. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it here. But if you've got nothing to do like right after this, I do suggest Die Hard. Start with the first one and just let it run.
Yeah.
I know a couple of them are on Netflix, but I have to secure the other ones somewhere else. They're a must watch.
And when I get the good old pop culture Bible, I will send it to y'all, and we can all, or I might be alone, don't know. But if you're like me, we'll all enjoy this.
Yeah, I'll try to come up with a list or something. If you have anything that you think that he's seen, because you think that everyone saw it, he didn't see it, so put it below. That would be very helpful. I'm sure I can't think of everything that he needs to see, because it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that he's just walking around here just not knowing about.
I've seen a whole lot of Martin Lawrence movies.
Yeah, fuck with Martin Lawrence.
No, I just said that to try to get some credit on camera.
You need something, Max. I'm not serious. Like, I have no idea. But we're gonna end this there. Thanks for listening. Hope this was fun for you. Like, share, subscribe, all that.
Yeah, y'all.
And we'll be back next week, same place, around the same time. All right.
Enjoy.
All good.
Shot fired.